Beware of Linda Sarsour's Harvey Hurricane Relief Fund. That's the word that we're hearing. A tweet from the Sharia supporter asks for donations for our Harvey Hurricane Relief Fund. But many of the organizations getting the money, they're highly politicized. The group that Sarsour is using Harvey to raise money for are leftist community organizing groups known for demonstrating and marching. The money raised does not go directly to, say, the Houston Food Bank or the Texas Diaper Bank. That's according to reports, but instead to organize and advocate for leftist causes. Now, one of the groups, SEIU, spent a fifth of its budget on Democrat races, including Hillary Clinton's race. Now, here's what Sarsour tweeted, quote, "Donate to the Harvey Hurricane Relief Fund." But the link on her page leads you to the Texas Organizing Project. Its mission statement reads, quote, "Texas Organizing Project promotes social and economic equality for low to moderate income Texans, through community and electoral organizing." Meaning it's a group that organizes protests, even anti-Trump marches, to do things like swing the vote. Joining me now, American Islamic Forum for Democracy president. Look who's here, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Good to see you, Dr. Jasser.
Great to be with you, Liz. Thanks for having me.
Now, this website did announce that all donations received, quote, will only be used to organize in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. In other words, not a dime goes to people who lost their cars, possessions, even their entire homes. It goes straight into the pockets of activists. What do you think?
Well, I think, welcome to the world of the Islamists who have no shame, nothing that shames them. The shameless world of exploitation in which every cause, Linda Sarsour comes out of the fabric of Hamas, right? The Hamas mentality, which is you create clinics, schools, social programs under the guise of helping to aid, when in fact it's all about political collectivism and activism. And the exploitation here is deep because the link goes to that Texas Organizing Project, which is about helping inequalities that emerge after, as you said. So it's not about giving them substantive food, health care, helping replace their lost, destructed belongings. No, it's exploiting it for their PAC, for their activism, their collectivism. And I have to tell you, this is what we deal with against the Islamists every day. It's the lifeblood. Their jugular is exploiting humanitarian crises, mixing the spiritual, communal, national identity that brings us together, mixing it with their Sharia supremacist activism. And we really need to expose this, and I'm glad you're doing that.
Doctor, and here's the thing, to your point, it's a good point you just made, that when you do expose it, when you do bring the truth to Linda Sarsour, saying, Linda, here's what you're doing. She doesn't deny it, but she's saying she's being smeared. She says, tweeting, this is what she tweeted. It's not my PAC, Texas Organizing Project, but who cares about facts when you're white supremacists obsessed with smearing women of color? Really? She's a victim of a smear by white supremacists when reporters are exposed her on this?
And it's not only about her. All the people that are following her, her hundreds of thousands of followers, I hope realize that the aid that wouldn't be going to all the colorblind aid that's being given to Houston folks that are really deeply in need, that she's depriving them of in order to fill the coffers for other causes. We heard this with the SPLC that barely spent $60,000, as Tyler O'Neill reported, on legal aid, when in fact they filled $300 million simply in the bank offshore. So this is the problem with leftist corrupt causes. They exploit it, and we need to inform their followers that it's not about ideological division. They're being exploited, and I have to tell you, today is the holiest day in the Islamic calendar. It's our Eid al-Adha, the holiday of the sacrifice, and we Muslims are looking at atonement, looking within, and I hope our Muslim community realizes that it's individuals like Sarsour, Hamas, CARE, other groups that exploit our community, regardless of whether you agree with them or not, but they exploit them for humanitarian causes. And in the wake of Hurricane Harvey, I hope we realize and learn from these cases.
To your point, switching gears, let's get to the story about Antifa and whether or not Democrats are looking in. A new report shows the Obama FBI and Homeland Security departments were warning state and local authorities about the dangers of rioting by Antifa. The new disclosures show the agencies were warning that this group, these rioters, they had become increasingly violent, that they are anarchist extremists, and that Obama's Homeland Security had officially classified them as committing, quote, domestic terrorist violence. What do you think of that, Doctor?
Well, I think it goes to show you the blinders the blinders they have in dealing with violence from their own ranks. They simply want to exploit whatever the topic of the day is to tar all of the right with the wackos of some of the white supremacists. But rather than deal with it, it was not only something that came out of nowhere. We knew about it. The Obama Homeland Security knew about it. These guys wearing masks are anarchists. Actually, the report says some of them may have gotten trained and learned from abroad, foreign training, and came back. Classic pattern of terrorist organizations.
Yeah,
so
that is.
It's all in the writing there, and I'm glad that's being reported on.
Again, the Obama administration said they're engaging in domestic terrorist activity. And then there's this disturbing video of an Antifa attack. Look at this on a disabled veteran in a wheelchair. An absolute disgrace. All of them should have been arrested just for wearing masks. It's against the law to wear masks in Berkeley and other cities, right? So there's no defense for this, right, Doctor?
There isn't. There is none. And I hope they look deeper within, as it's simply not about only the Islamists, the Muslims that they defend as part of identity movements. They realize that deep within the far left is a violent strain that wants to suppress free speech and have the heckler's veto of violence, even against our veterans, even against patriots, etc. And they don't want any attention paid to that, because at the end of the day, they want to suppress the speech of anyone that disagrees with them, and will somehow turn a blind eye to militant movements like Antifa. And by the way, I hope we start paying attention. These guys are wearing masks. You know, I'm against the veil and Islamic rights, because we need to be able to facially see who does what and commits acts of terror. Same thing for the far left. I hope they're against mask wearing in the public.
Good to see you, Dr. Linda Sarsour. We love having you on. Come back soon.
Anytime. Thanks,
now,
Liz.